Welcome to your weekend focused, August the 24th and 25th, 2019. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. I send it right back to you. Well, we'll see how well I wore Dylan out. I did get home after dark, so it was a quick walk down to the creek and back. Look at that, I've cut the cards already. They're ready to talk, so I guess we'll work in the numerology and the planets, and there's so much happening up in the sky this weekend. And there's, the numerology is 8 and 9. 8 is our strength, our will, our intent, our effect, what we're doing towards goals, dreams, and desires, and how we're doing it. Are we walking with integrity? Do we have compassion in our path? Nine is a beautiful number because nine is, yes, people consider endings. It's ending so that new beginnings can come into your life, happen in your life. We have the new moon coming in on the 30th, so that's just a couple of short days away, and that is amazing energy for our new moon in Virgo, because it's at 6 degrees. So the sixth sign is Virgo, and then we have 6 degrees. So if the six isn't strong there, wow. So that's a whole other video, so we won't go there. But Venus and Mars, I believe, are right next to each other. And so for some of us, Venus, or for many of us, Venus may, put a little bit more softness, sensuality, love, compassion into softening Mars's energy of let's get it done and let's move forward. At any cost, let's just do, let's go. He's the warrior. Or it could, for many of us, send us into new ways of going forward, of falling in love with a passion, a dream, a desire. And it could be something brand new with the new moon so close. So 9 energy really backs it up for us, and so we can look at what needs to go in our life. What is seemingly clutter, whether it is objects or maybe it's a thought process that you're worried about something, or you have a fear about something, or an anxiety. And so how do you need to release that? Or maybe you need to heal, or maybe you need to forgive yourself for something. So you're not constantly bringing it up in your mind, weighing yourself down. Let's see what the cards have to say. Sun we have now in Virgo. The Virgo party is happening. We're just waiting for Mercury to catch up, and I think that's by the end of next week. Mercury will be there and probably fly by everybody in the process. We have the moon in Gemini, I think, for the majority of the weekend. I think come about supper time, the moon will be moved into Cancer. So if you went away for the weekend, you probably had a really good time, especially if it was a real social thing. But at the end of the weekend, you're going to be happy that you're coming home and you can relax and let your hair down and be comfortable in your own surroundings and feel that security. So it's probably a great weekend to get out there and have a lot of fun with the Gemini, because it's all about words and communication and social, very much social energy. So we'll probably really want to get out there. Virgo, though, will be more like, oh, well, what time does that start and what time does this finish? And if we go there, then we can't make a time for the supper plans, and we'll get a little bit more detail oriented in what we're doing, though. So that could be a factor this weekend. Look at this, we pulled Justice first. We have a powerhouse. We've had a lot of strong energy lately, and obviously is continuing through this weekend. We have the Justice card here. The Justice card is the 11. The Justice card was last year's energy for the whole year. So for you that have watched me for a while now, and I thank you for that, you know what I'm going to say. It's time to cut the cords. It's time to release. It's time to let go. We kind of look behind us before we're going up that staircase like, am I done with everything? Is everything in the past now? Can I leave it all behind? Can I turn around and walk away from this? Can I go up those stairs into my path forward, into my dream, into a desire? And I think we'll be feeling stronger about that as the week starts. We'll see what happens as the weekend starts. But I think there's something in the energy of the sky, at least, that's telling us that we have to. We'll start to doubt ourselves a little bit. We'll doubt if we have what it takes or if it's the right move. We could be feeling like, even though you're making this decision to move forward, you feel like you might be missing out because you're not making this decision or something. It's just, it doesn't feel fulfilling or something, any decisions that we're making. So, but this is also walking with integrity. This is also giving 110%. This is also bringing in the balance into your life. We have the Six of Swords back again, telling us we need to go forward. But in full moon energy, I wouldn't push off just yet. There might be some details that need to be addressed, like we don't have a motor yet. Those swords in front of the boat are your knowledge, your wisdom, your talents, your abilities that you have been developing, your relationships that you have been developing, and which relationships are you taking forward with you. Three of Pentacles is back and right in the middle. Three of Pentacles, yeah, slow and steady wins the race. Absolutely, with the Three of Pentacles. If you want true success, if you want true happiness, it's going to take time. It's not going to be with the snap of a finger. So we need to work on it every day. We need to set goals for ourselves. We need to write them down and stay to task. And if you're one of those people that are horrible at making lists and staying to them, and you feel like at the end of the day you didn't get anything accomplished on your list, but yet you're tired, write down, and this works, okay? I'm sorry, but this works, scientifically proven. Go and Google it if you want. Write down 5 things you need to do tomorrow morning before you get up. And one is get up. Maybe if you normally shut off an alarm clock, shut off the alarm clock. Number 3, get dressed or take a shower, brush your teeth. It could be make the bed. It could be put on your slippers. Things that you normally do anyways, do it. But after you do each action, check it off your list. Now make one for lunch to supper time. Just 5 items on it. And now you might want to put one in there that, you should do, but you might not. And supper time, and then slowly add it so that when you're waking up in your morning, you're looking at the list and you're going, what do I need to do? And no longer says turn off the alarm or put on your slippers, but it's got some things that you want to accomplish before your day gets going, or after your coffee or your tea in the morning, or after your breakfast or after your workout, that you want to incorporate something new. And watch how that works for you. But with the Justice card leading the way, we have to give 110%, which means there has to be some kind of goal setting that starts to happen in our minds this weekend, or should. If we're tapping into the energy, we could be very strong in whatever goal plan we start to set for ourselves. Make it easy at first if you're not used to doing it. And you'll be amazed at how you start to, really get some things accomplished that you never could before. Because of time or energy or money, all of a sudden it starts to work for you. We have the 10 of Wands. This is really the 9 energy, isn't it? The 10 of Wands, here we are. We're trying to skip along our path. We're not doing a very good job of it, I must say. Somehow we got loaded down with responsibilities, obligations, energy that we're putting towards something that isn't even working for us, or it doesn't even matter in our life or going forward, but yet we're putting our energy or our time or our resources into it for some reason. We just need to stop here. We need to stop, put down that sack, get it off of our back, and go through it and say, do I want this truly going forward with me? Do I want this? Do I need this? Does it bring me value? Does it support me? And it could be a relationship, a job. And I'm not telling you to quit your job or quit the relationship. The relationship, we might need to work on it. The job, well, if you're going to go look for another job because your job isn't making you happy, always keep the other job until you have it replaced. You don't want to just say, well, I quit, and then walk out and go, now what do I do? You need to have the plan. You need to goal set. So if you don't like your job, or you feel that the job isn't rewarding enough or challenging you enough or moving you in the right direction, then start researching where those jobs are. And I trust me when I say this, when you go into the interviews, you automatically walk in with this confidence, because if they say no, it really doesn't matter in the long run, because you're still going to get a paycheck at the end of the week. You just like to work for them. But if there's these people, then there's probably someone else too. So you're a little bit more confident, and it comes through in the interview. We need to sort it out. Some of those wands have growth potential. Some of them have a few leaves sprouted, a few buds. But other ones are complete deadwood. And we need to start sorting that out. I really think that we need to really goal set or make decisions this weekend. And those decisions are going to kind of leave us a little bit of an empty pit, because we're going to be thinking, I'm going to miss out on this. If I do that, then I can't be here for this, or I can't participate in that, or I'll miss this, or because we are going to miss certain things. That's why it's the decision. If we weren't going to miss anything, it'd be easy. There's no real decision except go forward, right? One more card. One more card. Told you, strong energy. We start with the Justice card. We end with the Hangman. Now, the Justice card was last year's card. The Hangman is truly this year's card, because if you go 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 9, it is a 12. And yes, we do take the 1 and add it to the 2 for a 3 energy, the Empress. But by absorbing the Hangman's energy, by trying to step into the Hangman's energy, we learn how to actually become the Empress. We learn how to fully embrace that 3 energy. So with the Hangman, and yes, 21 would be a different energy that we would be going through. And so the Hangman is around to tell us to, accept what is. This is what I have to work with. This is what I don't have. So I'm going to have to work with it until I do get that. And I expect it to be on my path forward. So I'll just do what I can. Do what I can. It is as it is. It is what it is. So maybe breaking up the illusion of what it could be, might be, if I gave it this energy or this time or these resources. Maybe, just maybe, finally. And I think somebody can really relate with that, because I don't know where that came from. Ending struggles. Giving up control on things that you don't need to control. It's not going to matter for your path forward, really. Or maybe somebody gave it to you. Give it back. Obligations, responsibilities. Yes, we have to. The Justice card starts it. So we have to be accountable. We have to walk with integrity. So we just can't fluff off the responsibilities and obligations, but we have to take care of it, and we have to lessen them so that we have time to put our focus on ourselves, on our goals, on our dreams. We learn to put our ego aside. You ever have that argument with somebody, and at some point you go, oh my gosh, they're right, but you don't want to admit it at that point? That's just your ego. You're much better off just saying, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that. You're right. Oh my goodness. I'm glad we had this conversation. It ends completely different. But sometimes our ego gets in the way. Our pride gets in the way. We don't want to tell somebody that we did something wrong because, oh my goodness. I remember being a part-time employee at a place, and something went wrong. And so the boss, said, how did this happen? And I knew of 3 different people I could have blamed in the process, right? Because they were all a part of it. And, I was really just a kid, but at the time. And so I told the boss exactly what had happened and who I had talked to. I said, but at the end of the day, I am at fault because I didn't investigate this and I didn't ask more questions here. And about a half an hour later, he says, the only reason you're working with me right now is because you understood that it was yours and you took ownership of it. So I can trust you going forward. You could have lied to me. You could have grown the story for me. You didn't. So I remember that as a life lesson that was painless, really, except having to own up that I was the screw up, so to speak, in the whole thing. That I was the one to blame. Throw myself under the bus, and the bus came to a halt and didn't run me over. So putting ego aside is probably a really big thing, especially with Venus and Mars being there together like that. And I think I think on Sunday they even bring in Chiron into the equation. So there will be passion. There will be strong passion, strong emotion. Mars is going to raise the bar on that. So yes, if we're in the negative situations in our life, it could easily become argumentative, but we could also use that energy in a positive light to grow relationships, to express ourselves where we normally wouldn't, where we would have held back. Taking time to reflect. We're not struggling here. We're just merely hanging upside down, almost in a meditative state. So take time out for you. I think Gemini energy can be kind of busy, so maybe plan it for Sunday night, and chances are the energy will really work with you to get that in. And yes, decisions I don't think will be easy ones. And we are in full moon energy, so I would assume that the decisions are about letting things go, completing something, healing from something. Potential gateway, 50. Well, the 5 is about adventure and travel. The potential gateway. Well, I would have to put this in the context of your dreams, your goals, your desires. There is a potential gateway opening for you. And the energy is very strong to allow us to step into that path of our tomorrow the way we want to step into it, to take control of it. And I just talked about letting go of control, but control of your path forward, making the decisions based on you, your truth, your values, using your talents, your creativity. I think creativity can be something that's wonderful too with the Mars-Venus thing. The gateway is awaiting you. And I think I've talked enough with the other cards that you are already imagining that gateway for yourself. And yes, when we walk through that gateway, we will be leaving some things behind, and some things that we probably love, some things that we really don't want to take away from our life. So we're going to feel, even though it's probably a good decision for ourselves, like we're missing out. And that's usually the ego coming in, The ego saying, well, if you do that, then you can't do this, and you know how you like to do this, so do you really want to do that? Because the ego's there to keep us safe. Believe it or not, the ego is supposed to be working in our favor. A strong, healthy ego is good. The owl comes out, wisdom. Second sight, magic, secrets, truth, and wisdom. A wise old owl lived in an oak. The more he saw, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why can't we all be like that wise old bird? If owl has arrived in your reading, it symbolizes the wisdom that you have, which spans your earthly years. Those who come in contact with you may be drawn to your sage advice, your second sight, your keen ability to keep secrets. You can sense the truth and untruth in people and in situations, though you don't always follow through on your gut instincts. Owl tells you you're interpreting the signs correctly and to believe in your psychic abilities. It is part of being human, you know. They are a gift. Owl can also mean that there is somebody keeping a secret from you or being untruthful. Once again, follow your gut. Follow your intuition. This is not you being overly sensitive. Follow through on your feelings you have with your second sight. And if you don't, you may regret it later on. So really live in your truth. I know I've been saying that a lot and the cards weren't really talking about it, but Owl came in to say, yes, your truth, your dreams, your passions, your desires, your friendships. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.